After having the Genestealer Cults codex for a little while now and playing some games, here's my experience so far, some cool combos and things to think about. For the best lists, I'd definitely consider building with fast, hard-hitting melee builds. They do seem to be performing the best at the moment. And one thing to note is not a lot of things in the codex actually get the core keyword, so only Acolytes, Neophytes and Jackals. Keep that in mind when you think about your buffing auras. If you're looking to magnetise your minis, then why not check out all the custom kits that are available. Magnetised flying bases, special magnets and kits for dreadnoughts and knights. There's every size of magnet you can imagine. Head on over to the Magnet Baron and have a browse. The first thing, let's touch on the crossfire rule. I've played this a couple of times and it's still confusing. There's so much you have to consider and special planning you need to do in the movement and shooting phase. You also need to consider your shooting order, and you'll probably end up positioning strangely, or not that optimally, just so you can get your +1 to wound. So you have to put a lot of effort in to get more than just your +1 to hit, and considering that all this effort is against one single unit. However, there are lots of abilities that rely on having a unit with a crossfire marker on that it's really important that you get this mechanism to work. The SANCTUS is going to be a main player. It has some great overlapping rules, specifically that if he's equipped with a sniper rifle, which is free, then he can generate crossfire markers on units. He also auto-hits, which is amazing, so you don't even need to roll for your 2+ ballistic skill. And since it's a 2 damage weapon, he can put a marker on a unit, so it's a free, guaranteed way of putting a crossfire marker. Even better, he ignores Lookout Sir, so you can basically do this on any unit within 36 inches. If you're taking him as bladed cog, then he gets an extra 3 inches of range. I will come on to some of the reasons why having a crossfire marker is really important later. Now, if the SANCTUS wounds its target, then you can use a strat Neural Overload for 1 CP. You then roll 3d6 to beat the leadership, and this can turn off auras. If it's a Psyker, they'll suffer perils. It's great you can target characters, because these are the ones you want to turn the auras off for anyway. Auto wound is quite a big thing in the codex, and I've not seen it on many other factions other than a couple of guns in Admech. Rock drills on Acolytes have proven to be fantastic. The auto wound and 6s to hit are 2 mortal wounds in addition. An AP -4, you're either going straight through the save or you're hitting the invuln. The auto wound essentially negates high toughness units or even transhuman. You can take 2 per 5 models, and it's hitting on 3s. With Pauper Princes, you can get them hitting on 2s. Upgrading them with Our Time is Nigh for 15 points from Proficient Planning gives them an extra attack. You can also buff them with the Biophagus for exploding 6s. So with all those buffing potentials, considering taking them as 15 model units, so you can take 6 drills. See these playing a key part in Acolyte builds. Another way of getting auto wound is to use the Twisted Helix Mutagenic Deviation, which is a warp charge of 5. This will mean that 6s to hit in melee auto wound. Using this on Acolytes or PURESTRAIN Genestealers will be devastating. There's a third way to auto wound with the Mass Firearm strat for 1 CP. If you have more than 6 models targeting one unit with a crossfire marker, and there's reference to that, 6s to hit auto wound. Auto wound abilities are super powerful, but I don't really get it. You can essentially make any weapon auto wound, which doesn't really feel like it's got any real lore tie-in. PURESTRAIN Genestealers are now super strong and my pick for one of the best units in the codex. You've got a base 4 attacks, hitting on 2s with a -3 AP. They've also got a 4+ invuln, so they're actually pretty durable, so they're either going to get into melee or stay there. Use the Biophagus again to give them exploding 6s. Mutagenic Deviation for 6s to auto wound. Twisted Helix can take them up to strength 5, and even upgrade them with Proficient Planning for an extra attack, taking them to 5 each. Unfortunately, you only have 10 models in a max unit, but so powerful to take many units. Rapid Advance strat for 1 CP is going to be good on these to give them an auto advance of 6 inches. Twisted Helix also gives them +1 to move. They have an 8 advance and charge, but if you took them as a Cult of the Forum Emperor, you can also get reroll charges. They're a really iconic unit, and they're feared, and I'm absolutely loving them. Rock Cutters and Saws are strong, strength 8, -4 AP. Cutters have an extra attack but hitting on 4s and have 3 damage. Saws are base 2 attacks but hitting on 3s for 2 damage. Statistically, you're getting more hits through from the Cutters because of the extra attack, even though you're hitting on a worse score. The extra damage is worth it, and also with all the buffs already mentioned, they're going to be Terminator killers. Rusted Claw has a psychic power to give an extra AP to weapons. And this is a nice buff for some neophytes pumping out a lot of no AP shooting. Things like flamers and shotguns can suddenly get a bit tastier. For the neophytes, the jury's out on whether it's worth taking an icon in the squad. It will bring D6 models back in a turn, but I've had mixed success playing it. It's either done really well and brought lots of models back, or I've never found I used it because either the squad was at full strength or just dead. There's some cool fight last abilities in the faction. Coordinated Assault for 1 CP. Again, you target enemies with a crossfire marker, so make sure you shoot the target to get that marker before you go charging in, and then the strat will make that unit fight last. Really good to use when you're multi-charging because you can stop the opponent interrupting. And the second way to do this is to use Mass Hypnosis on a Warp Charge of 7. Gives out a fight last within 18 inches and also -1 attack. Another brilliant strat is the Covering Fire for 1 CP. Again, use it against a unit with a crossfire marker. It means they can't overwatch you or heroically intervene. Perfect if you're running into a big unit in flamers to make sure you dish out some damage. If you want to support the channel, then consider becoming a member. There's a Discord server and loads of other perks you can get access to. Otherwise, like this video so it can spread to more people, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.